Greetings. Today I want to talk with you briefly about the note G on the trombone and specifically a real intonation challenge that I recently had. What am I talking about? Did you see my Danny Boy play along a few weeks ago? It's linked up there. You know that fourth note, ba, 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 that's a G, okay? Listen to my first take of this. What do you hear? I couldn't leave it like that. Do you hear that it kind of rubs a little bit harshly? What's the problem? What do you think? Pause the video. The answer is the G is a little too high. It's too sharp. I was playing it on a standard fourth position, okay? But this is the thing with trombone. Any instrument is in a sense, but with trombone and violins, we have endless intonation possibilities more easily available because of the beautiful slide, okay? And so I had to retake that start of the tune with a little lower fourth position and listen to the recording on the video. It sounds a lot more harmonious. So ultimately you may have heard of equal temperament or equal tempered tuning, equal tempered intonation versus just intonation, also known as pure intonation. This is the big issue, right? What does it mean? Equal temperament is what a piano has. So the 12 half steps are equally divided across every octave. With pure intonation, which is a beautiful thing, especially in, let's say, a trombone quartet, we have the so-called pure intonation or just intonation where, for example, we try and sound more in tune within that key. And this G in the key of E flat major is an absolute classic example. So the only thing I want to give you to take with you today is to remember that the major third in any key needs to be a little bit lower to sound good, to sound harmonious. My ears prefer that, okay? Trumpet players, it's interesting. Trumpet players may hear it too low. So trombone players, if they're interested in this kind of pure intonation, they may be hearing major thirds lower than other instruments. Just be aware of that. So I'll give you the example. E flat major, let's count the notes. E flat, F and G. G is what we call the third, and this is the note. When we're playing a chord, E flat major, it just needs to be a little bit lower. Just be aware of that. Trombones are so often playing thirds in concert situations, in ensemble situations. So open your ears and get used to that. How to practice it? Check out my drones. I've got an E flat one here on YouTube. Let it run and play a major scale. E flat, F, G, and just stay on that G. Move the slide until you feel like you've got it nicely in tune, and you'll probably find it needs to be a little bit lower. Do that through other keys too until you've really internalized this lesson. It's a really important one. More info on that in my course, Bone Basics. It's a great beginner course, but parallel, it's also a course training the ears to these intervals to understand how does the third sound, how does the fifth sound, can we sing it, can we hear it, and then how do we transfer it to the instrument, which is, of course, the most important, the most interesting step. So if you're interested, check out the link below, Bone Basics, my flagship course for trombone players. Major third, lower. Implement it. Happy practicing, happy sliding. See you in the next video. Bonus question, why am I holding these two instruments? Holton 183, TR 183, and here Canstel 1670, needing a counterweight, hence the tape up there. What do they have in common? First person to answer it gets 50% off Bone Basics. Leave a comment with your email address if you know the answer. What do those two instruments have in common? Cancel 1670, Holton TR 183. Good luck.